Always amazed how many users rely on using the ribbons for even basic tasks like drawing lines and rectangles. The command line is where all the magic happens. So in this video, I'll be sharing 13 shortcuts to save you time, clicks, and even some sanity. So let's check them out. As you saw in the intro and the video, I went ahead and I did this using a utility called Mech-Q. I'm just going to use this drawing to give you some examples of some of these commands. So the first command we're going to use REC for rectangle. This is the shortcut I use all day long. Just said how that works. The next is OS for object snap. So these are super important to set up correctly. Here I have endpoint, midpoint mode, and intercepting. Although a quick way to set these up for 2D is to type in OS mode, which is not on this list here, but so you type in OS mode, you type in 167, and 167 was the magic number that's going to give you all the basic snap modes for 2D. So try out that command, and that will get you started quickly. Next on the list is polyline. So what I'm going to do up here is show you a setting that you can turn on called Layer Manager. And that's going to give you this pull down up here where you can select the layers that you need to be working on or move objects to certain layers. So let's go ahead and turn on the center layer here. So we'll make that active. And let's run the PL command. So just PL, the polyline. And we're just going to simply snap here to the midpoint, come down to the midpoint here, and using object snap tracking, we'll just go ahead and draw a line down this way, over this way to this midpoint here, and we'll come up here to this point here, and then we'll come down here to the very end. That's going to give us our main center line. And then the next command, real quick, if you need to change the spacing of this center line, we type in LTS, the line type scale, and enter in a new value. So if I want this spacing to be a little bit closer together, I could go with, let's say, a 4, and that will change that globally in the drawing. So let me take a moment and let you know that I'm using a CAD application called AViCAD. And AViCAD is a cost-saving alternative that acts and feels just like AutoCAD does. It has the 2D, the 3D, and contains the Mech-Q tools, which I briefly showed you in the beginning of this video. I encourage you to download it and try it out. We have plans that start out at $49 a month. As you may know, AutoCAD now is a subscription-based only platform, but we decided to allow users to use the perpetual license for as long as they need, no forced upgrades, and the cost savings is pretty enormous. Look at our pricing, and as I mentioned, try out our product. So let's get back to the tutorial. To the next command, add selected. And this is a really powerful command that probably a lot of people don't know about, but if you type in add, and then S for selected, it will populate. I should mention too that this here is what's called dynamic mode setting. I suggest maybe turning that on and trying it out because the commands populate directly at your cursor and they save you a ton of time so you don't have to keep looking down in your command line to find out what to do next. So we'll select this, we'll pick the center line. What this is going to do, it's going to immediately go into the polyline command, and also it's going to match the layer and everything for you. What I like to call it is more like a draw by example kind of command. I'm going to come down here, finish off my center line that way. Being that I do all these objects with Mech-Q, they're all grouped together into separate pieces. And this allows us to copy, move, rotate, and do whatever we need with these pieces that are all combined together. If we want to edit those items, let's say if we wanted to clean up this area here, what we need to do is type in pick style and set this to 0. Now, if we're not concerned too much with bill of materials, what we can do is take this pipe and explode it with the X command, and then just erase this piece in here with the E command. Now, if you're using bill of materials and you explode an item, it's not going to land up in the bill of materials. The pick style can be turned back on again just by selecting it in the list and typing in 1. Hip horizontal, this line, we're down here somewhere, and I wanted to bring it up to meet this center line here, and we type in EX for extend, pick the line that I want to extend it to, press enter, and then just pick the line that I need to extend, then enter. Next, I want to show you how to mirror an object, depending on how new you might be to CAD. So let's go ahead and mirror this piece of pipe to the other side of this flange. We'll type in MI for mirror. We'll choose the mirror line here, which will start here. We can project our line out this way, and then we choose no to keep the original entity. So let's do the copy command, which is an essential command that you're going to need to know. And the quickest way to get to it is just type in CO for copy, pick the elbow that we need, and then simply copy it from the point that you need to copy from to the point that you can copy to. And then you press the escape key to get out of it. Rotate is another super essential command. Let's say if I wanted to rotate the entire drawing here, I pick it, type in RO for rotate, pick the center point that I need to rotate it from, and then simply rotate it as needed. Now, one thing is if you pick things in CAD and then immediately later want to go back and do something with those pieces, CAD will remember that. So if I wanted to, let's say, move with the M command, all the previous objects that I selected, so I just type in P for previous, and that's going to bring back that selection set again. After that highlight, you press enter, and then you just move it appropriately where you need it. Of course, we have the erase command. We can simply pick objects to erase, and then type E. For example, here I have something here I need to erase, press E. Next, the match command, say MA for match. Let's just say that, let me just come up here and let's draw on the hidden line here. I'm going to use the rectangle command, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle in here. E. Now, let's say I want to match this pipe here to this layer in entity tab here. So what I do is I type in NA command, and I select the piece that I want to copy from, which would be this, and then the entities that I want to copy to. So I'm going to just pick these by crossing, and then they match themselves to the original piece here. So lastly, I wanted to show you two favorite commands of mine that I use quite a bit. Lay ISO, and the other is the opposite, which is lay on ISO. So lay ISO is a way to isolate a certain layer. So if I pick this layer here, press enter, I'm only going to see what's on that layer hidden. I can either undo it by doing the Control Z, but if I'm doing some other thing, let's just say that I want to stretch these 6 inches over, and I want to later bring back those layers after doing some other operations. So it's lay on ISO, and that brings everything back. Lastly, I should have brought this up in the very beginning. The command to do the dynamic mode, which is commands at your cursor instead of commands in your command line here, is Dyne mode, and you want to set this to 3. So you set it to 2. That's going to give you less options, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to dynamically see like dimensions. See that 2'6" there as I hover over the grips? It's going to allow you to see the measurements just by simply hovering over those grips. I think I'll do a few more of these and give examples of how you can optimize your workflow and work faster in CAD. So when you're doing your drawings, you don't want to fully rely on the ribbon or move your cursor around to utilities. Whenever possible, you want to just use straight commands, which allow you to get to where you need to go just super fast. So I hope this has been helpful. Take a minute to visit our flagship product called AViCAD and Mech-Q. To find out more, just visit cadavenue.com/AViCAD.htm, or you can go to cadavenue.com and just select it from the product list there.